Did you know that Tsukimi Ayano replaced her neighbors with dolls after being left alone in her village? Or that Karton, a Rastafarian from Burundi, has gone over 20 years without drinking water? Today, you'll meet 20 people with unusual lives. Let's watch it. It's fascinating. Tsukimi Ayano. Nagoro is a small village on Shikoku Island in Japan that has become a unique and astonishing place thanks to the singular creativity of its sole resident, Tsukimi Ayano. Once a vibrant community of thousands, it became deserted as people moved to big cities in search of better educational and job opportunities, turning it into one of Japan's many ghost towns. Feeling lonely and nostalgic, Tsukimi decided to create a scarecrow representing her late father, sparking a fascinating hobby that transformed the village into an open-air museum. This first doll marked the beginning of a vast collection of 350 life-sized scarecrows, each meticulously designed to resemble former residents. From students in the empty classrooms to passers-by and people inside their homes, each figure occupies the exact spot where the real person used to spend their day. To give you an idea of what it's like to live in a ghost town, the only resident walks through the streets greeting her immobile neighbors, a touching gesture that keeps the memory of the village alive. The most extraordinary part is that Tsukimi created these dolls simply to avoid feeling alone. But once the news spread worldwide, Nagoro became a tourist destination for those wanting to experience the eerie charm of an abandoned village inhabited by silent, somewhat unsettling figures. Thus, Tsukimi not only gave new life to her village but also became a teacher, offering classes on the art of creating these dolls to honor and remember the former friends and neighbors who once called this place home. Karton. From a young age, humans learn that water is essential for life, as a person cannot survive more than 3 days without it. Karton, a Rastafarian from Burundi, defies this fundamental law of nature, and his story seems straight out of a Hollywood movie. The man from this small country in East Africa claims that he has not consumed a single drop of water in the last 20 years, a practice he describes as a test of faith and devotion. Reflecting on his past to find the origin of his unusual habit, he turned to Rastafarianism after a traumatic experience. He was wrongfully imprisoned for a crime he did not commit. This event led him to embrace a life of extreme simplicity, marked by the absence of luxuries and unnecessary needs. But his most radical decision was to give up water, an act he considers the highest expression of his spiritual commitment and newfound faith. After 2 decades of abstinence, Karton remains surprisingly healthy, and even some of his family and friends claim he is healthier than others his age who drink water regularly. Kate Shumskaya. Many people believe in the existence of a lost twin who resembles us remarkably, but for Russian influencer Kate Shumskaya, this idea has become a reality taken to the next level. Thanks to her striking resemblance to actress Scarlett Johansson, she has captured the world's attention by impersonating the Black Widow star. A quick look at the videos and photos she shares on social media reveals why she's called Scarlett's lost twin, as her facial structure, eyes, and expressions closely mirror those of the famous actress, making them hard to distinguish. But Kate doesn't just rely on natural resemblance. She takes it further by recreating the most iconic hairstyles and makeup looks that Johansson wore in her films and on the red carpet. Since her meteoric rise on social media, she has gained 2.4 million followers on Instagram and an impressive 12.1 million fans on TikTok, who eagerly watch her videos ranging from makeup tutorials to recreations of memorable characters portrayed by the 2-time Oscar nominee throughout her over 20-year film career. Eugenia Cooney. This YouTuber started her career sharing makeup tutorials and personal vlogs, quickly capturing a wide audience with her charisma and ability to connect with her followers. Over time, her content began to generate controversy as she posted videos that seemed to promote eating disorders like anorexia as the best ways to lose weight. As her figure became visibly thinner, Eugenia repeatedly denied struggling with anorexia. The situation reached a critical point when hundreds of thousands of followers demanded her channel be shut down, arguing that she represented a negative influence, especially for those insecure about their weight. The public pressure and growing criticism led her to make a drastic decision, as in 2019 she withdrew from social media to focus on her health and enter a rehabilitation center. Upon her return to YouTube, it seemed like she was on the path to recovery, presenting a healthier image to her fans. However, since early 2021, concerns resurfaced when followers noticed she appeared extremely thin and fragile again. Consequently, this cycle left many questioning her well-being and fearing for her health, while Eugenia continues her influencer career under constant scrutiny from those who wish to see her recovered and healthy. Jillian Vesey. Rainbows and anime are more than just hobbies for Jillian Vesey. They are the central focus of her life. Her wardrobe is a burst of bright colors, making her look like a character straight out of an animated series. Known on social media as Pixie Locks, she has created a vibrant life framed by Japanese kawaii aesthetics. Her love for colors and Asian pop culture led her to a successful career as a fashion designer, with each garment reflecting her expressive spirit and love for vibrant hues. But Jillian's passion extends beyond fashion. She took her enthusiasm to the next level by transforming her home in Charlottetown, Canada, into a living reflection of her unique style. Armed with gallons of rainbow-colored paint and an impressive collection of anime-inspired objects, she turned her house into a kawaii paradise, where each room comes to life. As a result, this young woman has one of the most colorful styles you can find anywhere on the planet, serving as a means to express her individuality in a world where different ideas are not always appreciated. Lee Wachtstetter. After losing her husband in 1997, Lee Wachtstetter made a life-changing decision. She sold her house in Florida and embarked on a new adventure as a permanent resident aboard the luxurious Crystal Serenity cruise ship. Now affectionately known as Mama Lee by the ship's crew, this 96-year-old grandmother has made the ocean her home, traveling millions of miles across the 7 seas and living a life many can only dream of. Before becoming a permanent passenger, Lee had already enjoyed 89 cruises with her husband. Since boarding the Crystal Serenity, she has added another 100 trips to her record, circling the globe 15 times. Nowadays, she admits that her extensive travel experience means she rarely bothers to disembark when the ship docks, as it's likely she has already visited the port multiple times. Though living aboard a luxury cruise might sound like a dream, it isn't affordable for everyone, costing $164,000 a year. For Mama Lee, however, the experience of residing on a ship surrounded by the beauty of the ocean and accompanied by a crew that considers her a family member is priceless. Crystal Newman. A little over 30 years ago, this woman's life changed dramatically in a way she never expected. While cleaning her house, she noticed an unusual scent that captivated her. The smell of powdered cleaner made her mouth water. Driven by uncontrollable curiosity, she decided to taste it and experienced a gritty texture reminiscent of sand. At that moment, she sparked an absurd obsession, consuming the cleaning product at least 10 times a day. When she wanted to try it differently, she mixed it with water to form a paste that she devoured like a chocolate lover eats Nutella. As a result of this extreme addiction, her dental health was completely devastated, and she lost all her teeth due to the corrosive effects of the chemicals in the cleaner. When her situation couldn't get any worse, a compassionate dentist gave her a second chance with 22 titanium dental implants valued at $75,000, installed free of charge. Now residing in Detroit and dealing with the damage from her addiction, Crystal has started attending psychological therapy in hopes of leaving this dangerous habit behind for good. Mackenzie and Macy Garrison. What seemed like a routine pregnancy turned into an extraordinary event when triplets Madison, Mackenzie, and Macy entered the world in the most surprising way. The last 2 girls were born conjoined at the pelvis, sharing several organs in the lower abdomen and having only 3 legs between them. As soon as doctors confirmed the severity of the case, they realized they were facing a monumental medical and human challenge, culminating in a complex and risky surgery. On the day of the operation, a multidisciplinary team of nearly 100 doctors, nurses, and specialists dedicated 24 uninterrupted hours to separating the conjoined twins. Although the surgery was successful, the road to recovery was far from over, as the girls spent several months in the hospital under constant medical supervision while their bodies adapted to their new circumstances. After the separation, one of the biggest challenges Mackenzie and Macy faced was learning to walk. Due to the complexity of their situation, prosthetics were not the best option, so both girls opted to use crutches to get around. Despite facing a wide range of difficulties, these young women demonstrated incredible strength and admirable determination, which helped them overcome obstacles on their path to a full and happy life. Carolyn Anderson. In the 1990s, Pamela Anderson became a beauty icon who captivated the world with her blonde hair and stunning curves. Inspired by the Baywatch star, Englishwoman Carolyn Anderson has dedicated her life to becoming her perfect double. With a devotion bordering on obsession, she has spent nearly 40,000 pounds on hair extensions, Botox, lip fillers, chemical peels, and breast augmentation, all to recreate the image of her favorite celebrity. But physical transformation is only part of the process. To live like a true Hollywood superstar, she spent an additional 160,000 pounds on a massive wardrobe filled with clothes, shoes, and accessories from top designers, reflecting the glamour and elegance of her idol. While to others her lifestyle might seem extravagant and strange, to her it is an expression of admiration without limits. Carolyn has no regrets and asserts that no price is too high when it comes to emulating the woman she considers the sexiest in the world. Thus, each time she acquires more clothing or receives an aesthetic touch-up, she gets closer to her goal, to be the best and most authentic impersonator of Pamela Anderson. Armand Gerber. Armand Gerber's passion for felines is far from ordinary. His companions aren't just simple, harmless domestic cats. They are a majestic collection of 10 lions, 3 tigers, 2 leopards, and a cheetah with claws as sharp as blades. For this intrepid South African conservationist, the size and ferocity of these animals are irrelevant, as he sees them with the same affection he would a tiny kitten. With a profound understanding of their temperaments and an unwavering respect for their space, Armand has earned the trust of these powerful predators, who are accustomed to hunting prey much larger than a human. His ability to read their body language allows him to know when to approach for a gentle hug and when to back off to give these instinct-driven felines some space. You might wonder how he ended up living surrounded by wild animals. A few years ago, he founded the Iron Throne Predator and Wildlife Park, an 80-hectare sanctuary in South Africa where these magnificent creatures can live without fear. Thanks to his conservation efforts, his furry friends have a safe haven where they can find the peace and protection necessary to survive away from habitat loss and poachers. Jamie Nelson. The talented fashion photographer based in Los Angeles has taken nostalgia and glamour to a whole new level, turning her home into a vibrant tribute to the 70s and Barbie's dream house. Her story began a few years ago when she moved from bustling New York to sunny California and saw her new home as a blank canvas to unleash her creativity and retro design passion, transforming it into a sea of pink that defines the iconic doll. Since arriving in the entertainment capital, Jamie has poured her soul, effort, and a significant investment into turning every corner of her residence into a visual spectacle. This means pink isn't the only dominant color. Her house also features dazzling shades of yellow, red, and gold that create a kaleidoscope of sensations. As a result of her meticulous work, she has caught the attention of fashion magazines like Vogue, which have used her space as a backdrop to photograph some of the world's most renowned supermodels. Moreover, a simple glance reveals that not everyone wants to live in a traditional home. Instead, they prefer to unleash their creativity to create a vibrant and colorful display that leaves no one indifferent. Stephen Raj Bhaskaran and Hannah Rose Dalton. This duo are the visionaries behind Fecal Matter, an art collective that has revolutionized the fashion world with their attention-grabbing designs. Their outfits and photo montages leave everyone speechless, featuring designs inspired by cyberpunk and science fiction, making them look like humanoid aliens from a far-off world. It's also important to note that their designs aren't just about drawing attention. Both claim their clothing serves as a cry for liberation, born from the oppression they felt during their teenage years. After entering the Montreal School of Design, they found a kindred spirit in each other and began experimenting with a style that transcends mere costume. Thus, their designs are an extension of their identity and a bold way to express their true personalities. For this reason, you'll never see this pair of designers dressing conventionally. Instead, they embrace their post-human aesthetic in every aspect of their lives, whether at a Christmas dinner or a professional event. Additionally, their appearance challenges norms and redefines what it means to be authentic in a world that often fears the different, opting for clothing and prosthetics with a disturbing human skin effect that attracts attention wherever they go. Nick and Nicola. As a child, you might have dreamed of living inside a toy store, and when you see the home of this couple from Lancashire, England, you'll realize that childhood dreams can indeed come true. The collection amassed by this duo over the years fills every corner of their home with toys inspired by horror and science fiction, such as Star Wars, Frankenstein, and Doctor Who. With each new acquisition, their enormous collection has grown to overflow the boundaries of their house, turning their home into a genuine pop culture museum. However, the lack of space has become an insurmountable challenge. Unable to move to a larger place due to financial constraints, Nick and Nicola made the difficult decision to seek help from organization experts. Together with professionals, they began the arduous process of sorting their vast collection and deciding which pieces to keep and which to let go. Although they are moved by the thought of parting with some of their treasures, the decision brings an unexpected reward, as not only will they regain a more organized home, but selling some figures, especially limited edition Doctor Who items, promises to be quite lucrative. In this way, the couple hopes to earn thousands of pounds, which will not only relieve their financial worries, but also allow them to continue enjoying their love for science fiction in a more manageable way. Tamara Holland. This lady's passion for Christmas is so intense that her home sparkles with festive magic 365 days a year. Her greatest dream, seemingly straight out of a fairy tale, is to live in a gingerbread house. Although this might sound outlandish, she achieved part of her dream by decorating the exterior of her house to resemble a giant gingerbread house. Crossing the threshold of her home immerses you in a world of Christmas fantasy, adorned with around 800 gingerbread-inspired ornaments decorating every corner. Considering that these decorations cost over $3,000, it's clear why it's an obsession that could bankrupt anyone. Nevertheless, for Tamara, this impressive collection isn't enough yet, so every night she devotes herself to planning the stores she will visit the next day in search of expanding her dazzling array of Christmas decorations. While her husband doesn't share her costly fascination with Christmas, he finds comfort in the dozens of gingerbread cookies she bakes at least twice a week. With every bite, the Christmas spirit feels more real, and although living in a gingerbread house remains an unreachable dream, this #1 fan of the holiday season has made her home a magical corner where Christmas never ends. Skye McLaughlin. In just a year, 25-year-old Skye McLaughlin spends at least $6,000 on makeup to transform into the multicolored doll you see on screen, attracting attention wherever she goes. Her look is inspired by circus clowns and vibrant Japanese Harajuku fashion, resulting in a work of art that can take up to 12 hours to complete and requires tons of makeup. For Skye, makeup is a tool of empowerment and self-expression. It not only transforms her appearance but also serves as a shield and a declaration of intent. Facing bullies who criticize her weight, she is determined to become the most successful plus-size influencer on social media to challenge conventional beauty standards and inspire other girls to break free from the notion that they must look like a Barbie to be considered beautiful. Skye declares that with every brush stroke and layer of makeup, she not only beautifies herself but also spreads a powerful message of acceptance and diversity that is much needed among young people who feel they don't fit into society's beauty norms. Yasmin Charlotte. In 2004, at the age of 16, Yasmin Charlotte made a decision that would define the rest of her life. She bid farewell to jeans and transformed her fashion style into a celebration of her favorite color, pink. Now at 36, she has spent the last 20 years enveloped in various shades of pink, ranging from soft pastels to vibrant fuchsias, making her look like a character from an animated movie. If you thought pink was limited to her clothing, wait until you hear that this pink enthusiast created an entire universe dedicated to this color. In addition to her impressive collection of clothing and over 100 pairs of shoes, her home is a pink sanctuary filled with furniture, paintings, and decorations that loudly declare her devotion and reflect her identity and enthusiasm for the monochromatic style. Beyond being an aesthetic choice, Yasmin uses her love for pink as a statement of authenticity and self-expression. As an art teacher, she also seeks to inspire her students to embrace their individuality and find the courage to be true to themselves, just as she does with her radiant love for pink. Brian Barczyk. With his family, Brian Barczyk is the proud owner of the Reptarium, an amazing zoo that houses an extensive collection of reptiles. Among its inhabitants are extraordinary creatures such as a python the size of a train, a rare two-headed snake, a 6-meter-long Amazonian anaconda, bearded dragons, chameleons, iguanas, and turtles, totaling 1,000 animals that would instill genuine fear in most people. With over 30 years of experience, Brian has developed a deep love and respect for these reptiles, despite being bitten so many times that he has lost count. For him, each of them is more than just an exhibit. He considers them family members whom he cares for with dedication, feeding them live prey and even talking to them, convinced they can understand him. However, in the general society, not everyone shares the zoo founder's view, as reptiles like feared snakes are often victims of extermination in their natural habitats. Thus, Brian and his family have made their sanctuary a beacon of education and awareness, hoping to change misconceptions and teach the community to value and respect these misunderstood animals. Adi. Proving that bravery and passion know no age, 13-year-old Adi has become one of the youngest and most courageous caretakers at the Colorado Gator Farm, a breeding and conservation farm for some of the most imposing and powerful alligators. Under the expert guidance of her Uncle Jay, the farm's owner, she has learned the intricate care these reptiles need to live in balance. Every day, she joins the conservation team to interact with over 300 alligators from around the world, including Elvis, the largest alligator at the facility, weighing an impressive 661 pounds and still growing. Despite the intimidating nature of working with such massive and powerful animals, especially considering their jaws can easily tear off an arm with one bite, Adi has shown courage that leaves many in awe. Her determination and love for these reptiles serve as a reminder that true passion can overcome any obstacle, even the fear of one of the most formidable creatures in the animal kingdom. Naya Okami. At first glance, 27-year-old Naya Okami might seem like an ordinary person, but his identity is much deeper and stranger. He identifies as both a wolf and a red fox, meaning he feels such a profound connection with these animals that he believes he can shift between human and animal forms at will. Since childhood, Naya felt a disconnect from humanity, always sensing that his spirit belonged to another world. Once he discovered Wolf's Rain, an anime with a strong depiction of wolves, his feeling of being a wild animal intensified to the point where he believed his true identity was one of these canines trapped in a human body. As he gained more understanding of his new reality, he found help and understanding in the Otherkin community, a group of people who, like him, identify as animals or mythological beings. This journey of self-discovery led him to become one of the founders of Werelist, an online community dedicated to those who feel their true essence transcends humanity. What do you think about people who feel they have the soul of a wild animal? Don't forget to mention it in the comments. Werner Freund. For the past 4 decades, this German has not only cared for 29 wolves at his sanctuary in Merzig, but has immersed himself in the lives of these powerful animals, becoming their leader. Instead of merely observing them from a safe distance, the former German army parachutist with nerves of steel fully integrated into the pack's dynamics, even assuming the role of the alpha wolf. For many, the idea of living with wolves is terrifying due to their strength, intelligence, and wild nature, which makes them capable of bringing down prey as large as an elk. However, Werner challenged these perceptions by dedicating his life to understanding and respecting the complex social structure of these creatures. Through his constant interaction and understanding of wolf body language and customs, he earned their trust and respect after the pack verified that their human companion is the one and only undisputed leader. Now tell me, which of these lifestyles do you find the most absurd? Leave your opinion in the comments. Here are 2 options that you'll surely love.